And
Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath before I get to this. Bill Maher, new rule, dear Chappell, Roan.
finally, new rule, to mark the October 7th anniversary, we must launch a campaign to educate young Americans about the Middle East. And the way I'd like to begin that process is by addressing an open letter to Chappell Roan. Now, to those viewers who aren't watching this while also looking at their phones, let me explain. Chappell Roan is not the name of one of Trump's golf courses. She's actually a great new recording artist who, like a pager, is really blowing up.
Fuck you, piece of shit. That's, oh my God, okay.
In just a few months, she went from a struggling artist to getting 3 billion plays on Spotify.
Once again, I must remind you that the Hezbollah pager, simple meme for Bill Maher, basically fucking maimed 2,000 plus people, including first responders, nurses, and also members of the Lebanese parliament. And last but not least, it killed 2 children. Now, of course, besides that point, this is Mr. Religulous, okay? He's Mr. Atheist. Who's doing the act of terror? Would it shock you to find out that it was a religious ethno-state that was conducting this act of terror while simultaneously maintaining an apartheid? Of course, Bill Maher makes, he allows that kind of thing to occur. He doesn't care about that.
Spotify, netting her almost 11 cents. But here's what caught my eye. She seems like a Gen Zer who can be reached, because I saw her on TMZ say,
like, obviously, the policies of the right, but also some of the policies on the left.
Yeah, Bill Maher heard this and was like, maybe she hates trans people. That's what he probably thought.
that sounds like something I would say.
Yeah. Oh, I was right. I'm Bill Maher.
She also said, I think it's important that people use critical thinking. I think it's important for me to question myself, question my algorithm, question, is some person that tweeted something about someone else even true? Preach, queer ally, preach. And Chappell, this is where we must put to the test your pledge to use critical thinking and to question whether what you're reading on social media is true, because it isn't. There's a whole history of the Middle East that you and your fans aren't hearing about. So why don't you...
Oh my God, here we go. Here's the boomer power hour where I'm going to tell you Israel is the most moral nation on the planet. Israel is right and all of its enemies wrong. You know, you just simply don't understand. You don't have a high enough IQ to understand why Israel must behave and operate apartheid regime for 76 fucking years.
Let me be your spirit guide through this. But before I do, let me tell you a little about myself, since you may have no idea who I am, considering that when this show went on the air, you were barely old enough to be told you were in...
Yeah. You're too young. It's like, dude, what do you mean? What is being shown on your algorithm? What's being shown on their algorithm is literally dead with American bombs. That's it. When I see that, I'm like, we got to stop this no matter what. Okay. I see that and I think to myself, even if I was uninitiated, even if I was completely uninitiated with the subject matter, I'd be like, that's wrong. No matter who's doing it, we should put an end to it. But of course, the boomer mind is so much more complicated than that. That's it. That's all this 9-minute monologue is.
My name is Bill Maher. I'm 35. I've been to all of Diddy's freak-off parties, and I work at the same place as Euphoria. In fact, she's right down the hall. My TikTok handle is BeNasty, and I go live every Friday night with the anime filter on, and I once won a smoke-off against Willie Nelson, Woody Harrelson, and Snoop.
Dude, honestly, I mean, these people are going to die soon, so there's not really much else to say. And they live miserable fucking lives anyway because all of their immediate relatives are no longer answering their fucking phone calls, you know? Time will run its course. If you are the type of person that's like laughing your fucking ass off at this shit, that's it. You got like maximum a decade remaining in your lifespan. Maximum, okay? That's it. It's like, you young wokes, you're so stupid, doing your gender. It's crazy.
I'm a baby boomer, and I didn't learn about the Middle East from TikTok, which is a Chinese company whose totalitarian government would just love to have America's youth hating America.
Dude, that's awesome. Oh, God. Oh, brother. There's so much right-wing nonsense on TikTok, and it's very interesting that they never talk about that shit. I guess they don't give a when it's like right-wingers criticizing America. That's like genuine American invention, right? You can have that on every social media platform, but God forbid you have some leftists that like gain prominence on the fucking platform, you know? Then it's like, oh, China is trying to kill America by teaching the youth that America is bad.
That's some of that algorithm stuff you say you want to look into. Now, first off, the fact that you don't know much history isn't your fault. You live in the United States, where the schools stopped doing that whole teaching facts thing a while ago. But getting all your history from TikTok is like getting all your calories from Hostess. I know you're moved by what you see on there. We all are, the dead Palestinian bodies. But it's odd that your generation didn't seem nearly as moved by the Jewish bodies on October 7th.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. Every 17-year-old, like, non-binary teenager actually also has this, like, deep resentment towards Israel that they were basically primed with. No, dog. For many people in this generation, they were shocked at the horrors of October 7th. They were like, oh my God, what the is happening? And then for 12 months, they realized, slowly but surely, oh my God, this is what Israel has been doing this whole time?
You killed at Coachella this year, but when Hamas kills at a music festival, it's a whole other thing.
Oh, why didn't they laugh at that joke? Because there was no applause break. That's why. They probably were like, don't laugh at that. Those cackling hyenas, dude.
My guess is that Gen Z hearts are hardened by the propaganda you see on TikTok, which likes to call the Jews colonizers. But
no, they call Israel a colonial entity, which is historically correct. I need people to understand something, by the way. I need people to understand something. The academic consensus on the matter is not on Bill Maher nor the media side, okay? No matter how much pro-Israel people try to suppress the truth, okay? In all of these institutes of higher learning, no matter how aggressively they stamp any kind of anti-Zionist sentiment, the truth and the academic consensus on the matter remains. That's it. And you do not have to look any further than early Zionist leadership themselves that considered Zionism to be a colonial movement.
Chappell, did you know that for 2,000 years, Palestine was like an Uber driver with a 3-star rating? Nobody wanted it.
I love that he's literally regurgitating like boomer ass, like a land without a people for a people without a land shit. Yeah, dude. There was so little people there that 750,000 of them had to be forcefully removed from their homes, never to be returned. Like, what the f are you saying? There's also this intellectual, smarmy, elitist patina. And you're like, oh, you're so smug. You're just as dumb as the fucking Republicans that you think you're better than, but you're not. You're gross. You're a gross, disgusting, monstrous little cretin. Ooh, it's fucking so goddamn annoying.
And there was never any Arab country called Palestine. It was an orphan province. And if you ask people what they thought about it back then, they'd say it gave them the ick.
It's hard to read in the history books all of the things that like American pioneers did, you know what I mean? Rip and pillage and destroy the land and engaging like ethnic cleansing of the indigenous population, and then watch it unfold in front of our eyes and go, no, that's actually super sick. Like that's totally fine. I like that they're doing that. It's hard to do that. Either you have to be more honest in the way that Republicans are and be like, that's CRT, that's woke, that's gender, that's fucking that should not be taught in schools, that's DEI. And just like rewrite history even more so than we have in terms of like whitewashing the indigenous genocide. Like if you're going to do might is right, at least the Republicans are honest about it. You know what I mean? They're doing might is right more honestly than this fucking dipshit is.
Chappell, if you think it was repressive growing up queer in the Midwest, try the Mideast. You're a female drag queen and you sing, I fucked you in the bathroom when we went to dinner, your parents at the table. Yeah, that wouldn't fly in Gaza, although you would straight off a roof.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You would fly straight off a roof when Israel fucking blew off the roof, dumbass. Shut the fuck up, you Islamophobic piece of shit, dude. Israel has killed how many gay people in Gaza? Who knows?
The same goes for knee-deep on the passenger seat and you're eating me out. Yeah, my guess is the morality police would figure out that one's not about the drive-thru.
The morality police, dude. Number one ally to fucking Israel, for the record, Saudi Arabia. Morality police.
And kill your feather boa-wearing ass. You know when you sing that LA is where boys and girls can all be queens every single day? You're welcome, but offer not good in the West Bank. Chappell, you're not wrong that oppression is bad, or that Palestinian and many other Muslim populations are oppressed and deserve to be freed. You just have it completely ass backwards as to who is doing the oppressing.
Yeah, it's Hamas. They have to be freed from Hamas, which is Israel. Israel's doing that, right? This pathetic excuse of a human being's politics just comes down to looking for perceived hypocrisy and a shock at violence, then proceed with complete apathy at the horrors being carried out in front of his eyes because that's war, and spew some history he learned on an evangelical YouTube ad. He's like a fucking child. When Hamas murders civilians, everyone needs to be shocked because nothing can justify it. But when Israel slaughters them in the tens of thousands, there's context. Exactly.
You're a singer, and you're advocating for a place and a culture you would never want to live under. Gender may not be binary, but right and wrong kind of is.
Oh, is this guy on APAC payroll? No, dude. He's just a fucking disgusting little cretin.